We live inside a cage we can't see. It has no bars, no walls, no locks. It exists entirely inside our heads. The modern mind is supposed to be free, connected, informed, limitless. Yet most of us feel trapped, restless, constantly reaching for something we can't name. We scroll through endless screens, chase every new idea, collect information like oxygen, and still feel like we are suffocating. It's not the world that has changed, it's the way we think. We were taught that awareness would set us free, that knowledge is power. But the more we know, the less we feel. The more connected we become, the more alone we feel. The modern mind is crowded, too loud to rest, too awake to dream. We wake up and our first thought belongs to a screen. Our first feeling belongs to comparison. Before our feet touch the floor, our minds are already elsewhere, scrolling, predicting, analyzing, reacting. We never begin the day as ourselves. We begin as fragments of everyone else we've seen. This is the prison, a mind addicted to noise, a mind that confuses motion for meaning and distraction for peace. Peace is not gone. It's just buried under 1,000 tabs open in your head. You used to think peace was something you could earn. If you work harder, achieved more, gained recognition, you'd finally rest. But rest never comes, because the system that raised your mind runs on dissatisfaction. It whispers, "You're not enough yet. You need more. More success. More validation. More likes. More progress." And so, the modern mind never stops. Even in silence, it is rehearsing, replaying, rewriting every conversation, every mistake, every possible future. You lie down to rest, but the mind continues to scroll, through memories, through worries, through possibilities. We call this being productive. But it's not productivity, it's captivity. Somewhere along the line, we stopped living from our minds and started living inside them. The mind became a room we never leave. Think about how many moments you've missed because your mind was somewhere else. You were there physically, but mentally trapped, thinking of what to post, what to fix, what to fear. We no longer experience reality directly. We experience it through commentary. Every sunset becomes content. Every silence becomes uncomfortable. Every breath becomes background noise. The modern mind is addicted to certainty. It needs to know, to label, to control. But peace only lives in what you can't control. Peace begins when you stop needing answers and start accepting presence. That's why peace feels foreign to us. It requires surrender. And surrender is the one thing the modern mind was never taught. We were raised on performance. Our worth measured in productivity. Our identity tied to results. We wear business like armor. We confuse exhaustion with importance. And when we finally pause, the emptiness terrifies us. So we run back to the noise. Because silence exposes the truth. We are not busy because we love what we are doing. We are busy because we are afraid of what we might feel if we stopped. The prison isn't made of screens. It's made of fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of failure. Fear of being ordinary. Fear of facing ourselves without distraction. If you've ever felt anxious doing nothing, that's the sign. The guard of the modern prison is restlessness. It keeps you moving so you never notice the bars. You can travel, achieve, love, create. But if your mind never learns to sit in silence, you'll carry the cage wherever you go. Sometimes the bars look like ambition. Sometimes they look like success. But if your inner peace depends on achievement, you're not free, you're rented. Look around. Everyone is talking about mental health, mindfulness, meditation, but few truly practice stillness. Because stillness is uncomfortable. It confronts you with everything you've buried under productivity, the grief you ignored, the emptiness you disguised as purpose, the parts of yourself you stopped listening to. That's why ancient wisdom always returns to the same idea. Know yourself. Not your online self. Not your achievements. Not your trauma story. Yourself, before all the noise. The truth is simple. You can find peace in a world that profits from your panic. You must reclaim it from within. The modern mind is trained to react. Every notification, every algorithm, every outrage is designed to pull your focus outward. Peace is the opposite direction. It's not reaction, it's awareness without judgment. When you catch yourself spiraling, pause. When you feel the urge to check your phone for no reason, breathe. When you notice yourself comparing, return to presence. You don't have to escape the world. You just have to stop letting it colonize your thoughts. Start by observing your mind as if it were a separate character.
Watch how it constantly demands attention, how it invents problems just to stay busy, how it labels every emotion as good or bad. Then realize, you are not that noise. You are the awareness that hears it. The watcher behind the thoughts is your doorway to freedom. Once you see that, the bars begin to fade. Peace isn't something you create. It's something you uncover when the noise falls away. It's always been there, beneath the anxiety, beneath the analysis, beneath the need to be someone. The world will keep trying to pull you back into the storm. It will sell you solutions, philosophies, hacks. But the real escape is quiet, simple, invisible. It's a moment when you realize you don't need anything else to feel complete. Freedom begins when you stop letting the mind convince you that you're behind. You're not behind. You're just caught in someone else's timeline. The modern prison runs on comparison. You measure your life against highlight reels. You see everyone else's best moments and call it proof that you're failing. But you're not failing. You're just human. You're supposed to feel lost sometimes. You're supposed to rest. You're supposed to question. You can't heal in a system that constantly convinces you you're broken. You don't need fixing. You need unlearning. Unlearn the belief that stillness is wasted time. Unlearn the idea that your value depends on visibility. Unlearn the reflex to escape yourself. The greatest rebellion in a world addicted to noise is to be silent. The boldest act of power is to rest without guilt. The truest form of progress is to sit with yourself and feel peace bloom again. Because when the mind finally quiets, even for a moment, life rushes back in. You start noticing small things, the rhythm of your breath, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of your heartbeat syncing with the world. That's not nothing. That's everything. You were never meant to think your way to peace. You were meant to become peace by remembering what you are beneath the thoughts. The modern mind will resist this. It will tell you there's something urgent, something unfinished, something better waiting elsewhere. Smile at it. Thank it for trying to protect you. Then choose silence anyway. Because peace doesn't arrive when everything is done. It arrives when you decide to stop running. You can walk away from the noise right now. Turn off the screen. Close your eyes. Let your shoulders drop. Let the thoughts pass like traffic you no longer need to chase. That feeling that rises in the gap between thoughts, that's you. That's the freedom you've been searching for. Not in the next achievement, not in the next dopamine hit. Here, now, in this breath. When you understand that, the modern mind begins to dissolve. The cage opens. The noise softens. The endless seeking finally ends. And in that quiet, you rediscover the simplest truth. Peace was never missing. It was only drowned out by everything that promised to give it to you.